terrified dogs saved from slaughter, and how to see how seeing the irony can improve your life. Hi, Will Perry here. Welcome to another Keeping the Conversation Alive discussion. Hope you are well. So, the irony of I'm an animal lover, chomp, 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 leather car, leather on shoes, leather belt. Yeah, that irony. That's dogs minutes from slaughter is a video I saw on Facebook, and it was like, you look at these things and it's like, oh, that's awful, that's terrible, and you get involved in this, and then if you're an empath, your feelings come out and you're drawn towards this, the video of to find out more about these poor dogs and being slaughtered, ready to be eaten. And obviously this is a different country than the UK, because we don't do that here. But there's a lovely irony, because having made different choices for myself, I can see more of the arguments and more of the irony as well, because we see what we want stroke need to see at that time, do we not? So by that I mean, I was a meat eater for most of my life. I loved all the crappy grisly stuff. Was brought up because my grandfather was a butcher in the Midlands, and when he used to come down with a bag of bits wrapped up that had been in the freezer and went straight in the freezer. And when we had them, there was quite a lot of fat on them. And I think, you look back on stuff, my parents said, "Oh, best bit, Willie." The fat and the gristle was the best bit. Not so much the gristle, but the fat. So I used to eat genuinely. I mean, we joke about these things, but I didn't realise and understand the joke. So it was like I took it seriously. The fat was the best bit, and if you have to chew it a little bit, that's the best bit. And I believe I believed that. As kids, you don't question the stuff in the same way that you do as an adult. And I liked all the salamis and all the kind of all the different bacon and all this stuff. I had a girlfriend that was not vegan. What's the next one up? Vegetarian for a while, and I went vegetarian for about 3 years, and I actually went teetotal for about 5 years as well, which is crazy to look back on. But I found these things quite easy to do. It was just convenient at that time, and my sister was vegetarian for, I'd say, the most of her life. So it was nothing unusual to me. For my sister, it was more around the animal issues. She still had dairy. I'll get on to her about that now if she was still alive. But it was, I was aware of those issues. But I, for myself, kept myself comfortable, didn't think too much about the stuff, put it out of my head, and just enjoyed all the stuff that I enjoyed. However, I made a different decision more recently, about 3 years ago, and and then and to get that decision, I then opened my mind up to all these issues, and for me, sustainability was a real eye opener. So, Cowspiracy was the start of that. Watching the documentary, which then I deep dove into all the animal cruelty side, and of course that's abhorrent. But I kind of knew it existed, but just kind of kept it over there, because we make ourselves comfortable. So once I dived into that, then it's like, whoa, it's like at the forefront of your mind. Then you can't ignore it, and it helps with the motivation to make the change and transition. Once you make the change and transition, it's easy to maintain it. And think of any change and transition you've made in your life. Once you've done it, it's like easy to maintain. You might look back and think, whoa, and as an ex-smoker, it's like, as an ex-drinker, the moments where, but it's easy to pass on by and stick to your volition, your new volition. However, that video, there's an irony of people for me, and that's indicative of that situation where people get drawn in. There was another video of a cat stuck up onto the top lip. God knows how it got in there. A football stadium, the top lip, inside lip of a football stadium, and all the masses down on the in the seating area, looking up, caught up. People seeing what are you looking at? And there was this cat dangling on for life at the top of this, and it fell. Oh, people screamed. Literally, people screamed as this cat fell. 80 foot, whatever it is, massive. 150 foot, whatever, it's massive. And it was caught by the crowd. Yay! You'd thought goals were scored. And I find there's a great irony to that, because most of the people, if you think about it statistically, most of the people are meat eaters. And they will just be being comfortably ignoring all the issues and the slaughter and the lambs and the throats cut and all the dairy cows being slaughtered, the barbaric torture and the way we treat animals for food production, just abhorrent. And once you see that and you open yourself up to that, and it's like, oh, no way. And the screams of the animals and the sentient beings, and all that stuff we kind of put to the side. Oh, we just farm them, we grow them to farm them, and the whole sustainability issue. Yet we can be screaming about a cat falling away, and in indignation about another country eating cats and dogs, or rats on sticks, or oh, how could they? I like my lamb slaughtered, please. Could you chop its leg off and cut its throat and drip it? Anyway, so all that stuff goes on, and I'm not here to judge. I'm not judging, but we can easily adjust and change our choices and volition. And maybe we just get too comfortable being comfortable. So it just made me see the irony today when I saw that video on Facebook, and it's like makes me smile in a way, not in an arrogant way, but it's I think worth, and I like to take it on as my role a little bit, to kind of surface these ironies, because whenever there's an irony, there's something, a truth hidden behind a smile. Usually irony is a really interesting thing. So we want to be comfortable, but unwrapping that, you can get more choices opened up, and things that I'm vegan and yeah, oh yeah, whatever. But if you want to be healthier, if you want to make better choices, sustainability is important to you. That sentient beings are important to you. That the cruelty to animals is important to you. Whatever it is, you can make choices about that. But maybe the irony is aligned to it, rather than that's awful, and wear the leather. And by the way, I have leather shoes. I've got a wool. I'm pointing to it, an awesome peacoat, original 1940 peacoat. It's contemporary, but made to the standards of the original Navy peacoats. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they're awesome. And I've got leather in my car, and I've got a leather belt, and leather sofa. Oh my God, leather sofas! I'm surrounded by them. So for some vegans, that would be like, yeah, there's also grades of this stuff. It's like, yes, rather than give it away or throw it away or sell it, it's still going to be there. So I value these things, I can enjoy them. Yet replacing them, I actually would choose, if I was buying a new car, it's awesome. You can get faux leather. That's bloody awesome, and I love that. You can get faux leather shoes, you can get faux leather belts, you can get all this stuff. You can get non-wool alternatives, and I think that's fascinating and fantastic, and we can do more of that. But it doesn't mean that you have to be a certain way, and vegans need to. There's always going to be that activist, purist that's going to be very staunch, but then you need to have these grades out as well, in everything, in all aspects of life. So I invite you to look at the irony. Look at the irony. Explore where there's irony in your life. It's difficult to see irony, and this is in all aspects of it, not just about animals and animal rights and sustainability, but it's difficult to see irony in your own life. But when you do, there's an area for growth, and that's an awesome thing. And that's where I challenge myself to grow, and that's where I invite you to look to be growing constantly, because it's difficult to do that. If you haven't taken the test already, that's an awesome starting point for the area that I specialize in, which is low self-esteem, sensitivity to negative emotions about yourself. And if you haven't taken the test, just ask me for the test. I'll send you the link. It takes 2 minutes and gives an instant answer. It's an easily accessible thing. But that's the area I specialise in. If you don't have low self-esteem, then yeah, I'm not the man for you. And in fact, you shouldn't be watching me now. Oh, unless you're interested in veganism, that's cool. But particularly, ask me questions about that if you want. But particularly connected with low self-esteem, that's where I have. So explore the irony. Where's the irony in your life? And the irony for me today was, watching this, oh my God, and people jumping on, how can they do that? majority of them will be meat eaters. So there's an irony there, and I'm not judging. Beyond the normal realm of where we all judge. Many thanks for your time. Do get in contact. I'd be interested in what your views are on this. Speak to you soon. Have an awesome weekend if you're watching this via the email. If you're watching this another time, have an awesome rest of the day. All right, bye-bye.